All right, let's talk about something huge in economics, tariffs. But forget the complicated charts for a second. We're going to break it all down with a super simple story about monkeys, phones, and, well, leaves. Let's see how this all shakes out. Okay, so our story kicks off with this. Imagine a really happy customer, right? This is that feeling of getting an amazing deal. You know, the kind that just makes your day. We've got one monkey who's just snagged the perfect phone, and get this, it cost him practically nothing. So let's set the scene. We're starting with what seems like a perfect phone, a great deal. On the surface, it looks like a totally simple, happy exchange. You know, a classic win-win. But is it really that simple? Okay, so here's the setup. It's pretty straightforward, right? We've got one monkey who buys a phone. This phone comes from a place we'll call Apple Island. And the price? Super low, just a few leaves. The result? You guessed it, one very happy monkey. I mean, this is basically global trade 101. People getting what they want for a cheaper price. So what could possibly be wrong with that? Well, about that. It turns out that this perfect, amazing deal for our one monkey, it's actually creating a massive problem for someone else. And right here, this is the heart of the problem. You've got two different stories happening. On one side, you have our phone-buying monkey who is just thrilled with his cheap phone from Apple Island. He's happy. But on the other side, you've got the local monkey who makes phones, and he just can't sell his anymore. He is not happy. This is that fundamental tension, that exact problem that tariffs are supposed to solve.
Yeah, and you can almost hear the frustration, can't you? This isn't just some abstract economic concept on a chart. It's personal. This is someone, a local business owner, watching their entire livelihood just disappear, all because they can't compete with the prices from somewhere else.
So you've got this situation. One monkey is absolutely ecstatic, and another is basically facing ruin. Naturally, this whole mess gets the attention of the monkey leader. Someone's got to step in.
And the leader comes up with a pretty interesting idea. The plan isn't to just ban the phones from Apple Island completely. No, the idea is to kind of level the playing field, to make those imported phones cost more. So how are they going to do that?
Well, they do it with a tool called a tariff. And honestly, that's all a tariff really is. It's just a tax. A tax you put on stuff that comes in from other places. In our little story, it's a leaf tax. And its one and only job is to make that imported stuff more expensive.
And you can see the impact right away. I mean, look at this. Before the leaf tax, that phone from Apple Island was a total steal, just 2 leaves. But after the leader puts that tax on it, boom, the price jumps all the way up to 5. That changes everything for any monkey who's in the market for a new phone.
All right, so the tariff is in place. The imported phones are now way more expensive. So, what happens next? Well, like pretty much any big economic decision, this is going to create some winners and some losers. So first, let's look at the intended effect. The whole point of this, right? Now that the phone from Apple Island isn't the super cheap option anymore, local monkeys start buying the local monkey phones again. For the local phone maker, business starts to pick up. For him, the tariff is working perfectly. But, and this is a big but, there's the flip side. You can't avoid it. For the average monkey, that amazing deal they were getting, it's gone. Poof, they've lost that cheap option. So now, it doesn't matter if they buy the local phone or the more expensive imported one, either way they are paying more than they used to.
So when you look at the scorecard, it's pretty clear. The local phone maker, he's selling more phones, he's happy, he's the winner. But the average monkey, the consumer, they're paying more. They can't get those cheap phones anymore. They're the one footing the bill. And that right there, that's the essential trade-off at the very heart of every single debate about tariffs. And that brings us to the really big question, doesn't it? Our little story shows how a tariff can help out a local producer, maybe even save their business. But it does that by making things more expensive for everyone else. So the question is, when is that trade-off worth it? When is protecting a local maker worth charging everyone higher prices? And who gets to make that call? That, my friends, is the billion-leaf question. It's at the core of so much of economics and politics. Thanks for digging into this with me.